The Philippines is a small country off the coast of Eastern Asia with more or less 7,100 islands, depending on high tide and low tide. The country isn't as poor as some others, but it isn't as rich as first world countries such as Canada and the USA. About 25% of the population live under the poverty line, and a lot of many cities are still poor or still developing. Some more populated cities are slowly developing and are always under construction to make things better for everyone. The good thing is that it's mostly the richer part of the population that is making it better for everyone because the construction and development of the country is funded by taxes and in turn helps build roads and hospitals and other necessities needed to survive. The plans to improve the country also give opportunities of work to those that need it, which also help a lot of the more poorer families. But there are still a great majority of those in need, and you can see it in the news, especially during the Christmas time, where the government will go to the more needy parts of the country and hand out food, toys, and money to those who live off just a couple pesos a day. The Filipino lifestyle is very different than the Canadian lifestyle. For many, but not all Canadians, climbing a tree, picking fruits, or going to the pond or river, finding your own worms, tying them onto a homemade fishing rod, and going fishing is just a luxury to pass the time or to relax. But in the Philippines, these kind of things are common because it is a part of their daily routine. It's their way of getting food for themselves or for their business in which they sell to others. And after lots of hard work, they always appreciate what they have and always take great care in preparing their food because they are grateful for having something to eat. Since lots of people can't afford great luxuries, they take great pride and amusement in what they do have. Animals. Lots of things done in the Philippines is very do-it-yourself. Instead of going to the market and buying eggs and milk, some like to have their own farm. Raising chickens to lay eggs, goats for milk, and even fish for food are all grown locally. My family has their own farm full of pigs, goats, dogs, chickens, fish, and even pigeons, all grown and maintained by us and some employees. Even going to the farm and harvesting the fish for food is done by my family.
Kuya Jang, lagtawid man. My penguin. Why? There's your penguin. There's a butterfly right there.
While others spend their days working day in and day out, some have the opportunity to live very comfortably. They have enough money to go and explore the fantastic landscapes, to be able to go on adventures, to go on road trips for days at a time, and even have breakfast by the beach. Not all of the land is dirty and poor. The more populated cities like Manila are well developed, clean, and more industrialized. They have malls, shops, theaters, lots of fast food restaurants, and lots of fun things to do. The richer part of the Philippines feels like Canada at times. There are more cars and less tricycles, which show that there are more people able to afford cars for transportation. But rich or poor, religion is a big part of everyone's lives. Some major religions in the Philippines include Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, atheism, and Judaism. But the major religions are Christianity and Islam. Christianity started with the landing of Ferdinand Magellan in 1521. The Philippines became the first and then one of the two major Christian nations in East Asia, with 92.5% of the population belonging to the Christian faith. Roman Catholicism is a major religion and the largest sect under Christianity, with 80% of the population belonging to this faith. Traditions and festivals celebrated include Misa de Gallo, Black Nazarene Procession, and lots of others. Iglesia ni Cristo, or in other words, Church of the Christ, is the largest entirely indigenous religion that originated from the Philippines. Islam started in the 14th century with the arrival of Malay and Javanese merchants. It was these merchants that spread Islam into the Philippines because of their commercial contacts. There are about 5 to 10 million Muslims, which is about 5 to 10% of the population. Many Filipino customs have strong Buddhist influences. Several schools of Buddhism are present in the Philippines, such as the Mahayana, Vajrayana, and Theravada schools. Here are some other facts about other religions present in the Philippines. Those that are poor and are in need pray to God on a daily basis, go to church as much as they can, and hope that things will get better. Those that are richer and are more well off still make religion a big part of their lives. They pray to God and are always thankful for what they have because they know that it could be worse. They take time off work and their daily schedules to go to church and mass as much as they can. In our family, religion is a big thing also. All the kids go to Bible school every Sunday. It's a local thing, so everyone knows each other and it's more down to earth. Everyone's happy and cheerful and having a good time. Instead of making the kids sit through the boring stuff, they take the kids outside and play games or do activities. We dance, sing, and play lots of fun games. And then once the games are done, they sit them down and talk about religious lessons and about the Word of God.
Pero sino dito? Meron ba dito yung nakuha yung gusto niya regalo? Meron? Hindi. Na nakuha mo? Ha? Ano daw?
Poorer kids get together at their local basketball court and play lots of fun games, some similar to those that we played at Bible school. With little money to buy gifts and little room to have fun, it's a good place for everyone to get together, have fun, and have a good Christmas. One popular game that lots of people like to play is called Longest Line, where the kids get in groups and try to make the longest line with whatever they possess, whether it be clothes, belts, shoes, or themselves. It's very fun to see all the kids shouting and working together, running around naked and having fun. Prizes are even awarded to every kid that wins the games. There are even people that participate in various local competitions. Down the street, not that far from where we live, was a local lantern competition, where everyone, rich or poor, would try to make the best lantern that they can make. Some were made very well. Some were very bright with lots of lights. Others had a lot of symbolism, and others were made of totally recycled material. The lanterns are popular symbols in the Philippines for Christmas and the joy and happiness that it brings. These competitions take up large amounts of space, closing several streets at a time. They also act as a place for everyone to socialize. My family lives in the very middle. Our family has enough money to live comfortably, but we still need to work and support each other. The city that we live in is pretty developed, but there are some poor parts. Driving down the street, you can see very nice and expensive houses, and a lot of markets and shops. But on the same road, you'll see ghetto-like houses, falling apart and crumbling, and some poor shops where people try to sell their best merchandise to make a bit of money to live. There's a lot of us in our family, and we all support each other like one big team. It all started with my grandparents, my mom's parents, who had 5 children, 2 sons and 3 daughters. Each one got married and had their own kids. I'm one of them. There are now 16 of us in my generation, all growing up to become tomorrow's future. All of us work together, sleep together, and play together. We all like to go out and have lots of fun, whether young or old. We like to explore the landscape. Have lots of laughs. We also like to try new things together.
Dalag.
Ingat-ingat baka masikil.
Dalag ito. Dalag na, barbas na na.
Catfish? Yan ah. Pwede lang may sobli dito eh.
Why?
And just have an overall good time. And whenever we get bored of playing video games all day, we go to the mall and play video games there. It sure beats sitting around all day. One thing we did for Christmas was to wake up early in the morning, walk to the church, and attend Mass at 4 in the morning.
Simbahan. Hi!
We'd be very tired and we'd be falling asleep on multiple occasions. We'd even have to sit outside some mornings because the church was so full. And as always, there was food waiting on the table for when we got back. One thing that struck me was that no one in our family was buying gifts for one another. No presents were going to be exchanged. Instead, we'd pack small loot bags full of foods like coffee and sugar for the adults.
This is for the kids, Christmas gift for the kids, in my dad's side, my mom's side, and my dad's side.
And chips, candy, and toys for the kids. Days were spent buying, counting, packing, and making sure that each bag had the same amount of stuff inside. A total of 250 kid bags and about 50 adult bags were made. Then we drove 6 hours away from our house to a small community that was poor and underprivileged. It was raining a lot and everyone was soaking wet, but a lot of the community was there, waiting to receive their gifts.
Warobing lagi tayo apo ano na ibusan kayo. Warobing.
My grandfather, who was the one that came up with the idea, bought all the supplies, and managed the whole thing, was the one that was giving out the bags. 200 pesos accompanied each bag that was given to the kids, and 500 pesos for the adults. A lot of the adults blessed my grandfather for being so kind-hearted and helping them during the holiday season. On the 24th, we gathered as much of our family as we could, and all the employees that worked at our farm, restaurant, and gym, and had a massive party filled with smiles, laughing, food, and tons of games to play at our farm. Everyone participated in the games, from old seniors to the teenagers and kids, and even all the parents that are usually uptight and serious due to work. The fun and games lasted for a couple hours, with several games and many tournaments being held. With games such as egg toss, various games that involved eggplants, and another game that involved dunking your face in a plate full of flour. Once all the games were done, a buffet of food was brought out and everyone had as much food as they could fill in their stomachs. Then at the end of the night, my grandfather pulled out wads of cash and handed out money to everyone that won games. Then 500 pesos to each and everyone that attended the party.
Santa Claus!
Once the party was over and everyone went home, we went back to our house and had a late night / early morning dinner to celebrate Christmas, with only the close family. We decided that the night wasn't over, so we went house to house and sang Christmas carols just for fun, which is something lots of the little kids would do during the Christmas time. They'd go around to each house and sing Christmas carols to earn a little money. We were all tired the next morning, and it showed when we went to Christmas Mass the next day. Of course, the Christmas holidays aren't over until the New Year's happens. And in the Philippines, we like to end the old year and start the new year with a bang. Lots of bangs, smokes, lights, and fireworks to be exact. I had a fun time while I was here in the Philippines, and in the 5 weeks that I spent here, I learned a lot about myself, my family, and those around me. I learned that I am extremely lucky to have a nice life in Canada, and even though it may not be the best, it's better than some of those that live here in the Philippines. I learned how caring my family is, and how they are never selfish. They think of the rest of the family before themselves, and they even go as far as to think of total strangers that they have never met before, and help them out during the Christmas times. I also learned of the others that don't have much as I do. Those that don't have the luxuries of having video games to play or food on demand. To make up for it, they are grateful for what they already have and the people that are close to them. Little things, even as much as playing with a stick and a couple of stones, is enough for a lot of the kids to play with on a daily basis, which a lot of us in Canada won't ever be able to do. They aren't complaining about their situation either, because they always pray to God that it will get better, and hopefully, one day it will.